Hi, Helen. Let's take a look at your latest set here. We've got traditional foods being replaced by fast food. That's what you said. Experts throughout both the developing and developed world have debated that fast food is taking over the traditional way of eating. Some believe that it has a negative effect on individuals, families, and society, which I strongly agree with. This essay will argue a few reasons and using. Mm, will argue a few reasons and use examples from personal knowledge to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, fine. I have one concern. Um, it has a negative effect on individuals, family, and society. It's almost exactly what is written here. You do not want to do this. This will count against you. You want to use some new language. You want to rephrase it using language that is not exactly or nearly exactly. I mean, you're probably thinking, okay, well, I changed impact and made it effect. I changed the order of these words. It's still not enough. Okay, so try to use some different language. And, there's countless ways you could have done this. Um, some believe that this new trend is causing dramatic issues for our modern world, which I strongly agree with. I mean, so you don't have to be so, specific like this. So that's that. And what else did I want to tell you about this? And then the rest of it is okay. Okay. On the one hand, there is detailed evidence that fast food has a negative impact for individuals, families, society. You just said that up here, negative effect. Now you're saying negative impact, so it's almost identical to what's in the prompt. The central reason behind this, no comma, for individuals is, because its reason is obesity due to the high calorie and sodium intake and the convenience of fast food. Okay. For example, fast food chains such as McDonald's or Kentucky Fried Chicken are open 24/7 and are are open and okay, and are 24/7 and are very easy to access. I would have preferred the R here, but it doesn't really matter. Especially through drive-through or even easier through home delivery companies like Foodora. Secondly, families get affected by okay, weaker ties to each other since the gathering and discussions around family kitchen table has disappeared. All right, hold on a second. You just told me that there are two central reasons for the negativity, the negative effect of these. You said that they're the high calorie and sodium intake and the convenience. So I understand the convenience here, okay, but you didn't say anything about the high calorie and sodium intake. Okay. So when you say it, you have to support it. You have to go into some detail. All right. Okay. And then another thing I would have said here is rather than saying the central reason, you could have, because I see you have multiple reasons, you should have said instead, one reason behind this is, okay? So it's one reason, because then you've got a secondly, which by the way, when you have a secondly, you should have had a firstly. Okay. These all go hand in hand. So you could have said instead, additionally, families get affected by weaker ties to each other since the gathering and discussions, no apostrophe, around the family kitchen table has disappeared. Okay. Another issue is the cost for the society. Unhealthy people in the society are very costly. For instance, due to illnesses such as diabetes and coronary heart failure, all strongly related to obesity, the admission rate for hospital admissions, okay, I don't like that, admissions. How about the admission rate for hospitals gets higher every year? Therefore, eating habits have a great negative impact on not both, because three things on the individual, family, and society. So, one thing that I really like about this paragraph is that you really made it clear that you're talking about individuals, you're talking about families, you're talking about society. So, I thought that was great. I thought that was really good. Um, I wanted a little more, you know, again, a lot of repetition with that language, though. Individual, family, society. Individuals, families, society. And here too, individuals, family, and society. So you gotta, here it is. Break it up a little bit. You've got to use some different vocabulary because it feels really repetitious when you do it like that. But other than, the comments that I made, I thought it was a well-constructed paragraph. Now, I got to tell you, I'm a little concerned about your next paragraph. Let's read it though, and I'll explain to you why I am concerned about it. On the other hand, the favor of replacing traditional food with fast food is the time consuming on cooking. Okay, I don't understand this word, the favor of, and I don't understand is the time consuming on cooking. You mean something else, but unfortunately, I'm not able to understand or kind of interpret what it is you're trying to say. I think it's something like, that being said, the benefit of this new trend is that, let me see, fast food is less time consuming. Okay? This is what I think you're trying to say. This is largely because traditional cooking, mostly food made from the original. I don't know what that means. What do you mean the original? Uh, takes time to prepare. Not are taking, takes time to prepare. For instance, mashed potatoes from scratch without that can take more than, watch your grammar, can take more than an hour to make since, what is it? Since the potatoes need to be selected, bought, peeled, chopped, and cooked. Therefore, I don't understand this. Can the selection of choosing fast food instead traditional? All right, this grammatically, I can't fix it because I don't know what you're trying to say. All right, let's read your conclusion really fast and then I'll tell you what my other big problem with this paragraph was. From the arguments S and examples S given, I firmly believe that traditional food has negative effects and it is predicted that those impacts will increasingly grow in importance. Okay, so lots of problems in this short little sentence. Now, let me tell you what my issue here is with your second body paragraph. But to do that, let's go back up to the essay topic. It says, to what extent do you agree or disagree? So what does that mean? That means that you can agree 100%, you can disagree 100%, or you can be somewhere in the middle. Okay, but no matter what your percentage it is, whatever you are saying is your position. Okay, so this is not like, oh, some people think this. No, no, no. The essay is not asking you what some people think. They're asking you what you think. And so that's what this whole essay needs to be about, your position. So I was okay with this. And you know what? I also could have been okay with this. But here's where your problem is. Look what you wrote in your introduction. It has a negative effect, and I strongly agree. So, since you strongly agree, and the only thing that we care about is your position, then this is totally irrelevant. Like, not irrelevant, but it just comes out of nowhere. Okay, you have a paragraph here that does not link to your position at all. Okay, and so it feels like it affects your coherence and cohesion because there's not a logical progression of your ideas. Okay, there's definitely lapses. And in terms of task achievement, your position is not clear throughout the response because although we thought we knew your position, suddenly we don't. Suddenly you throw this in here. Okay, so how do you fix this? When you have an essay like this, which is essentially asking you just your position, you really just need to reflect that in your introduction. So, some people believe that it has a negative effect on individuals, families, and society. Full stop. While There are benefits to this shift in eating. On the whole, I agree that it is negative. Then your paragraphs make sense. We understand why you had a paragraph about the positives. We understand why you have a paragraph about the negatives. Okay, so that works. But just the way it is here, it doesn't work. All right, you're going to have a lot of problems in grammar, as you know, we talked about already, but also in terms of task achievement and possibly even with coherence and cohesion. All right, now, so this is the SN correcting. I am now at a loss. I don't understand what this is. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Is this the same? I'm so confused. Okay, I'm aiming for 6.5. All right. So my argument feels like the cost-based argument are more governmental than that. It's okay. I mean, look, government reflects the society, right? I'm okay with that. You did miss something important, which I think I already covered. So if you have any other questions about that, let me know. Yeah, grammar, R at the end. Okay. Yes, you need to work on it. All right. Do the best you can and definitely work on this. All right, let's take a look at your task one. It feels too simple. I'll tell you, don't worry. If you've missed something, I promise Helen, I'll tell you, okay? All right, so the bar chart shows the shoe sales. There's no reason to capitalize these words. For brown and black leather shoes in 9 different countries in Europe, it is presented for the year 2018 and a number of thousands of sales. All right, you don't need this sentence at all. This just, you know, wastes your time. You don't need it. This is all you need. Okay? Yeah, you could have said 2018. So that's all you really needed. Bar chart shows 9 coming out in 2018. Done. And then you don't need this sentence. Let's see. Overall, the market for brown leather shoes was the highest in 5 countries, whereas the black leather market only had the majority in 4. In one of the countries, there were almost no sales of brown leather shoes. Careful. Um, the second sentence I would have left out. You're almost getting into detail. I mean, the only thing that was missing was the country name. If you had mentioned the name of the country, it would have definitely been a detail, and then we would have asked ourselves, okay, is this an overview? Is this, you know, a detailed paragraph? It's confusing. So let's see. There are a bunch of things you can say here. For an overview, one that I like is that Hungary sold the most shoes and Belgium sold the least. Okay. Or of both shoe types, Hungary sold the most and Belgium sold the least. That's one thing you could say. You could say the most black shoes sold were in Hungary, while Poland had the high sales of brown. Okay. Although it feels kind of detaily, but those are some things you could have talked about. Okay, let's keep going. Brown leather shoes were the major choice, you don't need to repeat it, in Poland with almost 130,000 sales, followed by Germany, Ireland, Holland, and France, with respectively goes at the end, around 125, etc., 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 thousand, respectively. That's how you do this. Respectively goes at the end. Counties, careful, counties is a different word. Countries that preferred black leather shoes were Hungary, Italy, and UK, even though the market was not in a great majority, with only 20,000 sales more compared to the brown leather shoes. I don't understand that sentence, really. I'm confused. All right, but we'll talk about it. The number of sales in Belgium differs since a little over 100,000 sales preferred black. I don't understand that the sales preferred black leather shoes. No. Yeah, you missed some stuff here, Helen. All right, so let's talk about it. Um, there is not just one way to do this. There are countless ways to do this. But I will tell you from my experience as an examiner and my years of IELTS tutoring, what I think really works here. Okay? So, yes, of course, a paragraph for black leather shoes and then a paragraph for brown leather shoes. I always start with black leather. Why? Because if you look, it's the highest number in the chart. And so you want to mention that. These are the things you want to emphasize. So when you look at this kind of information, one of the things that you really want to look for is if there are any outliers. Okay. So what do I mean? The outliers are the things that kind of stick out from those middle figures. That's what I want. So yeah, Hungary for sure. And then of course, Belgium. All right. So these are the things you might want to highlight since the rest of it kind of can all be smushed together. Another thing you want to do is you want to use these numbers along the side. I think they make your life really easy. So let me show you how. Let me show you how I would do this. Maybe I won't do both paragraphs, but I'll certainly show you black. So regarding black leather shoes, four? No, 3 countries sold over 100,000 pairs, with the highest figure uh, in Hungary, appearing in Hungary at 140,000. This was the highest number of shoes sold in the 9 European countries. Okay. And then you can say Italy and Belgium sold slightly less. Then the fewest black leather shoes, there you go. The fewest black leather shoes were sold in France at approximately 35,000. The remaining countries, and then you can name them because you haven't named them yet. You should let us know the names of the countries. So the remaining countries, UK, Germany, Ireland, Holland, and Poland, all sold between 50 and 100,000 black leather shoes. And then you would do something very, very similar with brown. But you would say, as far as brown leather shoes are concerned, 4 countries sold between 100 and 150,000. And then you can say whatever you want to say here. And then again, Belgium, you want to emphasize that Belgium is the lowest figure of any shoe. Okay. And then again, just kind of smush those middle numbers together. Does that help? I hope it does. What I'm doing here is, as I said, I'm focusing on the things that are important, the things that are interesting, and the stuff that's really not so interesting, I just don't care about. I just kind of smush it together. So it's mentioned, but I'm not really emphasizing it, highlighting it, or spending any sort of meaningful time on it. I hope that gives you some ideas. I hope that answers your questions. Keep your questions coming, keep your essays coming, okay? Good luck.